if there's ever any videos of mine that get a ton of views, I hope that this is the one. I hold honesty, truthfulness, clarity, whatever you want to call it. I try to make sure that I measure up to those standards every day. I hold these, very high, very close to me. I think there's a lot of value in, these morals. So I don't want to put the image out there that I'm trying to, make it off of Ivan Djuric's success or fame. If you don't know who Ivan Djuric is, he is the one that made the squat everyday training method popular. That is how I found it. But before I go too deep into that, I want to give you a little bit of a backstory. I've been watching Ivan for well over a year now. And last year in September, I had a pretty serious back injury. I had herniated my disc, I believe. I couldn't work out at all for 2 weeks. And then I was sort of off and on for another 2 weeks. I was, messed up for a good 2 months from this. I'd load up 315 because I'd be feeling good. I'd hit that for a single or a triple. And then the next day, I would barely be able to make it out of bed. So I finally decided that squat every day would probably be my best route of rehab. Just the constant movement, the blood flow. I figured that all of this would be very beneficial. So back to the squat every day, philosophy, if you wanted to call it that. I agree with pretty much everything about it. The discipline, the commitment to doing something every single day, the practice, the specificity practice. I get to practice squatting every day. I've had thoughts about quitting this, but then I kind of, ask myself, well, what else is there? What would I do? I mean, you can't tell me that, me coming in and hitting 135 for a single is, really going to be detrimental to my squat progress. So auto-regulation is something that I've been doing for quite a few years on my own. I've been training for 7 or 8 years now. And quite frankly, I don't have the schedule to run a certain program or anything. I've always, sort of done what I wanted to do. Loosely follow push-pull legs. But anymore, I really just come in here and do whatever I want to do. I agree with a lot of Ivan's, theories about movement, practice, mobility things, like the glutes. A lot of what he talks about makes a lot of sense to me. Hence why I'm doing upper body work with overhead squats right now. I think it was this morning, he was messing around with some overhead squats and he got to talking about it. And I was like, that makes sense. And I feel like my upper back is sort of weak. I have some right trap pain that comes and goes, and that's potentially from weak traps. I know that my overhead position is pretty weak. It's nearly everything I have to hold 65 pounds up over my head. So I decided to do some overhead squatting today. And I really, don't see the issue with, sort of taking other people's ideas and molding it to your own. You have to understand that whatever you do was created by somebody else. The push-pull legs, splits, the small squat programs, you name it. Any of these were created by somebody else. And so you're really, just using other people to further yourself. At the end of this video, I've got a few screenshots of comments sort of explaining my point on this a little clearer. I'll throw in a timestamp right about now. But I want to make it known that I watch Ivan. I think if I was trying to copy him, that it would probably be best to act like I've never heard of him. I try to mention him pretty frequently. I gave credit to him for the squat every day thing in day 1 of my videos, and I try to mention him somewhat regularly in these videos, but it would be a little bit overbearing to say in every video that I upload, hey, Ivan Djuric, made this squat every day thing popular. That's where I got the idea from, yada, yada, yada. So I don't want to take anything from him, but it'd be a bit overbearing to say the same thing every single day. I had more I wanted to say about it. Back to the program thing. I live a very busy life. I'm usually busy every hour of the day. I have very little free time, and I kind of roll with the flow, roll with the punches. I just kind of take whatever life throws at me. So I try to make it a habit to get up at 5 or 5:30 every day. Usually I'm in bed by 9:30, 10. Sometimes I'm up way later. I'm an apprentice electrician. Sometimes I've got to stay late on job sites, yada, yada, yada. Some days are physically draining. Roughing in houses or, packing heavy stuff. I got church Sundays and Wednesdays. I just can't fit anything structured into my life. I just kind of, work out when I get the time through the day, sort of make time for it. I cut out a lot of excess. I don't watch any TV at all. I watch maybe an hour's worth of YouTube throughout the day, but this is mainly while I'm sitting down eating or going to the bathroom or something. I very rarely sit down for more than an hour or so. So like I said, the program deal, I think that this suits me the best. I would like to, I've had thoughts of running a program, but kind of decided not to for all of those reasons that I just gave. It'd be really hard to come in after, busting my butt all day, packing around 140-pound rolls of wire all day long, climbing ladders, climbing up stud spaces, swinging hammers, all that good stuff. It'd be really hard to come in here and hit something like a 5x5 after busting my butt all day. Therefore, I may just come in and hit an easy 225, 275 single that day. I do like to grind. I really enjoy working hard, but longevity is somewhat of a concern for me, and I don't want to just grind my body into the dust. I would like to still be doing this while I'm in my 50s or 60s. I'm very big into mobility. I watch knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick, a whole lot. I'm sort of doing some Jefferson curls, Jefferson good mornings. I'm not real sure what you would call those right there. But I also wanted to mention that Ivan knows I'm doing this. This is included in the comments at the end, but he's defended me on this topic on one of his videos. He's commented on several of mine, told me, that was a good PR, looked smooth, giving me pointers. He knows that I'm doing this, and he wished that more people would start documenting their training journeys like this. Why did I start uploading to YouTube? I have no intentions of, getting this channel big. I sort of don't want to, because I don't know. I feel like sometimes you may work a little differently knowing that you have people watching. But with that being said, the feedback from other people is beneficial. The, bouncing around of ideas. is beneficial. So if this channel gets big, then it gets big. But by no means did I come onto YouTube with the hopes of making money off of this. The main reason I started uploading to YouTube is to keep track of the number of days. This is really the only place I could do this. I could write it down in a notebook, but I've got a 3-year-old sister running around the house. Who knows if I left a notebook hanging around, where it would go. Maybe the notes on my phone, but, if I get into a habit of waking up in the morning and entering in another day right then and there, later in the afternoon, I may be like, have I, typed that in today? So then I'd go in, add another day, and I think I'd, lose track like that. So YouTube is, the most consistent, safe place for me to do this. I wanted to keep track of the PRs, and sort of always have video footage of this. I have a lot of my PRs saved on Snapchat. However, I don't use Snapchat a whole lot anymore. I'm really trying to get away from it. Like today, I haven't been on Snapchat in the last 3, maybe 4 hours at this point. It just doesn't offer a lot to me anymore. For a while, it was kind of addictive to me, and so I was trying to step away from that. Kind of regain control of myself. So, I may delete Snapchat in the next 3-4 years, and I don't want to, lose footage of my PRs. I can't really keep them in my camera roll for that same reason. What if I had lost my phone, in the duck swamp or something? So therefore, again, YouTube is the safest place for me to, keep everything. Trying to think if I had anything else to say. I believe that most of it is, explained fairly well in these comments right here. Feel free to pause it and read them if you need to. But I just wanted to come out there and say that I'm not intentionally copying Ivan. I'm not trying to get, not trying to get big off of his success or anything like that. But he's got a lot of interesting ideas to me, a lot of theories that make sense, and so I figured I'd apply them to myself because, that's how the world progresses. Somebody before us figures something out, and then, we take that as true, we run it, see if it works or not, and then we take it a step farther, and we advance it from there. So the world's got to progress, and look at the guy that created the bench press, all right? Think of the bench press. Now, say one guy came up with a bench press, and everybody else would never do bench press because they didn't want to, copy him. Well, where would that get the world? The bench press would die with that guy, and we wouldn't get to see, like the 800-pound benches from Julius Maddox that we see nowadays. Probably be lacking a lot of pectoral muscle, shoulder stability, all of this, just because everybody would be too scared to copy that guy. So I'm running squat every day, rolling with the punches, as I said, and seeing where it takes me. Maybe I'll eventually stop it, but as for right now, I do not ever see myself stopping. I think mobility is the key to health. It's again why I follow a knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick. Like I said, longevity is very, very important to me. It's another reason I lift raw. No belt, no knees, no knee sleeves. With For the belt thing, I don't think it's good for you to load up. Say, without a belt, you can only squat 315, but you throw a belt on and you can suddenly hit 375. That tells me that your core muscles are not strong enough for 375, and I don't think it's sensible at all to throw on 375 when your core is only capable of 315. So that doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I choose to lift without a belt, is to build that core strength just through the daily repetition. That's really all I got for today. I'm going to shut this up now. I'm either going to go run today or go fishing. I'm not real sure. But I'll get back with y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. I just wanted to come out here and kind of explain my point from this, that I'm not trying to copy Ivan. I'm just trying to do what I think is best for myself. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.